Have you seen this yet, Buck? One of our listeners put me in a hat playing the flute outside of the inauguration in AI.
I mean, it sounds like surveillance footage to me, Clay. That's all I can tell you.
I'm telling you, there's never going to be any ability to figure out what the truth. All right. We've got a lot of women. Who should we go to? I can't even. All right. So VIP Stacy, let me start. I mean, there are so many people who want to weigh in here. VIP Stacy says, please note, she's not wearing a shirt. You're looking at her bra at the inauguration. So classless. Also, you guys sound like 12-year-olds. Okay. So first of all, I agreed with everything. Every man, if he talks honestly, sounds like a 12-year-old, no matter what age he actually is. Maybe we bump it up to like 14 or 15-year-old. But most men's sense of humor does not really change. I can tell you this. When I am driving around my 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, and they are joking in the back with their friends, their jokes still make me want to laugh. So your husbands or your boyfriends or your sons, they may lie to you. This is what we all sound like in real life. You're just getting an unfiltered look. All right, women want to weigh in. We're going to go to Deborah in San Antonio. Was it or was it not appropriate, Deborah? What did you think of the Lauren Sanchez outfit? Did we lose Deborah? I thought we had her there to talk at the very beginning.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Hi.
fire away.
Yeah, totally inappropriate. Totally. And I agree with your VIP email. It was a bra. And under any other circumstances, it's fine. I don't care. But if somebody showed up for work, I own a business. Somebody showed up for work looking like that, go home and change.
Okay.
Thank you. I agree with Deborah. I also would submit, Buck, I bet there's not a single Deborah in our listening audience that's going to defend Lauren Sanchez. I think if somebody were going to defend Lauren Sanchez, it's going to be like a 23-year-old who's listening to us right now, not going to be someone who is a mom or a grandma. I feel good about that. Janice, in fact, if there are any moms and grandmas out there that loved what Lauren Sanchez wore, you can defend her. Janice in Marietta, what do you think?
Well, I never post on X, but I posted the minute I saw that outfit and wrote 2 words, no class. But it wasn't just that event. She dresses like that all the time, and to have that sort of resource at her fingertips and to display herself in that manner is just kind of sad. But
what if it, though, was all intended for the PR, Janice? What if she just wanted us to all talk about her? Then aren't we falling into the trap of Boobgate?
Well, if she is that needy, that she needs that kind of attention when she's got a multi-billionaire on her arm, it's kind of sad. But
Janice, you're not wrong, Janice. You're not wrong.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
By the way, I love your accent, Janice. And just to point out, Buck, what you are referring to is actually a booby trap that we may have stepped in here.
A
legitimate booby trap. Thank you very much. All right, Janice, you wanted to weigh in on Melania too.
Well, on the accent, this is South Carolina. Just recently moved to Georgia. But Melania's outfit was beautiful if she were at Fashion Week of New York. I just didn't think it was the right outfit for that particular thing, but she looked like she walked out of Vogue magazine. She's gorgeous no matter what she wears.
She is impeccably dressed and a beautiful woman. There's no question about that. I would just say from the male perspective, with very few, there are exceptions. You mentioned the Kentucky Derby. There's a tradition there of wearing hats at the race. If you're at a baseball game and you want to wear a baseball hat to keep the sun out of your eye, I get it. But for the purposes of fashion, guys do not want to see women in hats. We want to see your hair. We don't want these hats. We never think they're cute. We never, it's like when women started wearing gaucho pants for a while. You remember that? Which were like giant, it was like trash bags on their legs. Didn't want to see that either.
Also, no man actually likes short hair. I mean, I understand women get tired and they get their hair cut short, and your husband or your boyfriend may have said, oh, it looks great. He's lying to you. You should always have long hair.
Well, who's really lying is the women in your life who are telling you to cut your hair short, ladies. Don't ever listen to that woman. Whoever's telling you to chop off all your hair when you've always liked your hair a little longer, she is not your friend.
Oh, that's actually really good advice, Buck. Pamela, what you got?
Hi. I felt when I saw Melania get out of the limo, I was like, oh no, she's not showing her face because she's very pretty, very pretty lady, and as well has very good looks. And I was disappointed. I felt more like it was a fashion statement, which is her choice. I mean, totally her choice, but it wasn't as eye-catching as she normally dresses. And it's just, as I said, a matter of opinion. Now, as far as the Lauren Sanchez, there comes a point in time in your life where you need to be grown up. You need to act like an adult and not like you're trying to be 25 again or 30. There's a point in time for everything. I don't care how many boobs you show in your life and how important you think you are or how much money you've got. Sometimes you have to look in the mirror and say, look, I need to act like I'm an adult, and I don't need to have to impress anybody with anything. And that when you have to impress people with 3 pounds of makeup, expensive designer clothes to feel like you're important, you're not important. It's that simple. Trump.
Did we lose her? She was preaching.
Yep, he was fired up.
I think we just lost her there for a second. We didn't have anything to do with that.
We got a guy. We got a guy who finally has cut through the noise.
Lee in Ohio wants to weigh in, Buck. Just be careful, Lee. You're about to step into about 48 different landmines. But what do you have to say?
Well, it sounds like you're correct on that because I'm calling the booby trap myself a 5. I didn't think it was that inappropriate. And
there we go, Lee.
No.
All right,
I'm
Lee,
with Lee. I said it's 6. I might even scale it down to a 5 with Lee.
All right, you and Lee are on the 5. Okay, Lee, what would an inappropriate top have
this
looked
Boob
like
Island that we're on, by the way?
Well,
is that what's going on?
Well, how about me not being on it? That's the I want to hear Lee's fashion. Lee, what would Lauren Sanchez have worn? You didn't have any problem with it. What would she have worn? You've been like, this is too much.
I think if there would have been the bra lower cut and maybe
you have to see her nipple in order for you to be like, hey, I'm sorry. So anything short of nipple, you're fine with.
Yeah. I get it was a classy thing, but I think she had them showing classy, in my opinion.
Thank you, Lee. Lee, you're a man's man. I respect Lee.
This might be exactly what Jeff Bezos said. Lee and Jeff Bezos have the same standard. Hey, if the nipple's not showing, it's classy. That's Lee's take.
Hold on, I'm gonna throw a little more analysis onto this here because I would just say the rest of her outfit. You know, it's usually because I know women will do this. They'll show a little of the top.
Let me pause you here, Buck. I don't even know what the rest of her outfit was. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't tell you anything below the cleavage. She could have worn like. I don't know. She could have dressed as a Hooters waitress below. I didn't notice anything after it.
It was very conservative, except for the what was the word you used? Decolletage.
Decolletage. I think I'm pronouncing that. I think it's French for cleavage. Decolletage. I think that's right.
So yes, she other than the cleavage peak, it was a very conservative outfit. It was like a woman's pantsuit, basically. I mean, it's practically what Hillary wears, but a little more of a sneak peek. You know what I mean?
These are all right. So this is a funny VIP email, and then we got one more call we'll get to before we go to break here. We'll take some more calls to close out the show. VIP Richard said, I think she's being treated unfairly.
I agree. Very unfair. Very unfair.
Very unfair. So far, only men have said she's being treated unfairly. But Richard actually has a good argument. I don't agree with what she wore, but Senator Fetterman was much worse, and he's not being talked about. She did give Fetterman some cover because the guy showed up in a hoodie and shorts, which is indefensibly ridiculous, I think, for the inauguration. But she's being ripped for the boob top more than he is for being in shorts and a hoodie.
I completely agree with VIP Richard. I think Fetterman showing up dressed like a bum is far worse as a slight of cultural norms here than, a little sneak peek into Sanchez world. Like it wasn't really that bad.
Heather in Connecticut, what you got for us?
Hi, I didn't like Lauren Sanchez's outfit at all. When I first saw it, I thought, it was a malfunction, that there was a button loose or something. And then when I learned it was deliberate, I thought, that really looks awful. It looks awful because of where she is. It takes too much attention away from the president, whereas Melania, she covered herself up. She wants to give the attention to her husband. I get that. And the outfit, having a tailored arm padded jacket, it just doesn't go with a corset look underneath. Like, it's totally wrong.
Thank you for the call. I'll point out, Buck, do you remember, and our staff is pointing this out, and I thought about it too. Do you remember the Seinfeld, the O. Henry candy bar heiress? Did you watch Seinfeld?
Some, not all. I've seen some of the episodes.
Okay, so there was a, back in, I don't know, this is probably like 1994, an episode where I think it was the O. Henry candy bar heiress just decided she was going to start walking around with jackets and a bra on. And that was it. And everybody would just be riding down the street and like be in disbelief over her outfit choice. Now, by the way, that's actually very common because don't even get me started. You're in Miami. Like, girls basically roll in to work out at the gym in lingerie. I don't even know what the difference is between lingerie and workout gear now. It's basically the exact same, right? I mean, like, it's crazy.
Miami is on the cutting edge, you could say. And I think that maybe, in some of your SEC frat boy fans, Clay, may need to adjust the record here. Clay Travis believes in the First Amendment always, and boobs sometimes. Sometimes.
I'm telling you, I'm going to get ripped to the high heavens for having a little bit of standards. Maybe it's the age. Again, to me, cleavage is on a scale. The least appropriate place for cleavage, maybe somebody else can come up with another one, to me is funeral. Nobody should go to the funeral and be like, who looked really smoking hot at the funeral?
But an inauguration is not a funeral. That's why I'm saying you got to put this on the scale, right? And on the scale.
That's what I'm saying. Funeral is like to me, maybe somebody can come up with a less cleavage-worthy event, but nobody should be like, man, did you see the boobs on so-and-so at Ray's funeral? She looked incredible. Like, funeral, no cleavage, all right? Other extreme would be like New Year's Eve, out on the town in Vegas. Like, that is like everybody's going to have cleavage, right? That is the extreme. To me, then you grade it, right? The formality of the inaugural ceremony is much closer to the funeral than it is to New Year's Eve in Vegas. New Year's Eve in Vegas, Lauren Sanchez would look normal. But I'm just saying, as a steward of culture, I'm on the side of it was too much. And I hate to be on the side of somebody showing too much boobs, but that's where I am. All right, what do we got here? This is going to be a heck of a transition. There's a war going on in Israel right now. And in wars, awful things happen. And one of the things that you need to do is make sure that you support the right side in any war. And I just got back from Israel. I was over there last month. And I got to tell you, what they are going through is flat out unbelievable. And we started off the show, actually, talking about Elon Musk getting criticized for an alleged Nazi salute, which was absurd. But it's also absurd not to think about what actual Nazis did. And on Monday is International Holocaust Remembrance Day. And right now we're dealing with a global rise in anti-Semitism, the likes of which we haven't seen in a very, very long time. And that's why we're proud to partner with the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. They can provide food, shelter, and safety to Jews in Israel and around the world, including those remaining Holocaust survivors. Your donation today will help provide food, water, medicine, and other basic necessities to Jewish communities. And through your gift, you'll stand with the Jewish people and against the growing anti-Semitism and hatred. Give a gift to show your support of the Jewish people by visiting supportifcj.org. That's one word, supportifcj.org. You can also call 888-488-IFCJ. That's 888-488-IFCJ.